I honestly don't even know how to start this video. I guess the first thing that I want to say is that this is going to be the single most important video that I ever do, ever, in my entire career. I didn't realize how important this topic was until I started channeling it. And I didn't expect what came out to come out. So I want to say that if you feel nauseous during this video, it means that you're shifting and that you're healing. And when I was writing the information of this video down as it was channeling through me, I almost threw up probably about 3 or 4 times. I shouldn't have to say this, but this video definitely isn't for children, so hopefully you know that and you're taking the appropriate steps. I do want to say that this video is meant to be a DNA activating, healing, deeply cathartic gift to all of you from the universe. My intention for this video is to help each of you heal so that you can help heal the world and that you can help heal the children as well. Yeah, I don't even know. We're going to talk about the past and what has gone on in the past in relation to children and sex trafficking and pedophilia and reptilian blood and sex rituals. Definitely, this is a video to keep an open mind. Okay. So my history with this really got started in 2011 when I was first introduced to the Galactic Federation, and they told me the history of the reptilians. They showed me these giant dinosaur-type beings drinking the blood of children and gaining access to their powers when they did so. Personally, I have been a part of the child sex trafficking ring in many, many past lifetimes. Luckily, not this life. And I have also seen many, many sex rituals done on many of my clients as well throughout the years in past lifetimes. I have also personally worked with MK Ultra victims in this lifetime as well. So this has been going on since the dawning of humanity. This is not new. This is not recent. This is not even within the past 25 years. We need to realize that this has been taking place literally since the dawning of humans, of this hybrid project. And that's because reptilians have been involved in controlling the system of this reality since the dawning of humanity. And we're going to get into that because we need to free ourselves from the entrapment. And I think that by the end of this video, you're going to understand that it has everything to do with freeing the children, but simultaneously it has nothing to do with that whatsoever. There is a much bigger picture, a much more nefarious plan in the works here that has been in the plan, and unfortunately that we have been ignorant to since the dawning of humanity. And now the truth is coming out, and I have to say that, and I don't like saying this because I don't want to create it, but I am a little bit scared for talking about this information today because it's the truth, and I don't know who else is saying this information. And I don't say often that I'm fearful of my life or what I talk about, but this video makes me scared a little bit because they are doing everything in their power to suppress this information. So I just want to say, not that it would, I know I have long contracts on this planet, but if anything were to happen to me after this video, you know why. Oh, sorry. Okay. At the beginning of this program, let's call it that. Let's call it a program. At the beginning of this child pedophilia sex trafficking program that was put out by the reptilians, they used to handpick children. And they handpicked children who were psychic, completely psychic. And what I was told and what I was shown throughout the years is that they chose psychic children to prey on for a variety of different reasons, and we're going to get to that. But yeah, they handpicked them. Nowadays, there's a new system in place, and they literally harbor these entire facilities filled with these child sex slaves, and that's the truth. It's happening. It's not just a theory. It's not just a conspiracy. It's happening. So the reptilians chose a psychic bloodline to breed as slaves so that they can take on the power of the bloodline. And there's other reasons too we're going to get to. But you need to realize that the fact that you are here watching this video right now, and that deep down you feel impacted by what's going on and you may not even know the full picture, it's because we are the ones that got away. We are the ones that were able to escape that system. And that's why deep down there's this guilt that you feel. Deep down there is this self-sabotaging that you create because you believe that you're not good enough to have this, because there are many, tens of thousands, if not millions of souls on this planet who don't have the freedom that you have. You are the one that got away from this system. And that's why deep down, every ounce of your being wants to do something to change it. We need to be strong for them. And I felt like I always had this inner strength, and I never could allow myself to break down or cry, you know? And I've just been releasing so much. The whole point of the reptilians choosing psychic children and psychic and essentially cosmic bloodlines for this system that they have put into place is to keep them in a karmic debt trap. Have you ever heard of the fact that this planet is a prison planet? It's not because karma exists here. Karma exists everywhere in the universe. It's because the reptilian shapeshifters know how to manipulate the fundamental basics of this reality. And because they know that, they have created this karmic debt trap for anyone who has been enslaved by the child sex trafficking, pedophilia, the blood and sex rituals, adrenochrome, all of those children, all of us, because we were once those children in past lifetimes. We have been affected by this. And these souls come back incarnated life after life after life in the same enslavement, because the reptilians know how to manipulate karma. They understand the basics of this matrix, and that is how they are holding us down. That is how they are suppressing us. And what's really messed up is that they do things to these children and essentially to these souls that are so messed up that these souls have to come back into a very similar lifetime and a very similar situation to replay that karma and to clear their karmic debt. But there's no escape. There's no ability to clear that karma every single time they come back. They're trapped. We need to realize that these souls are not just trapped in one lifetime of fucking torture. They are trapped in life after life, replaying the same trauma and feeding the elite while they're doing that. And it's because the elite are interdimensional beings. They are not middle-aged white guys sitting on a bunch of money. That's not what this is about. It's not. It's way bigger than that. It is way bigger than that. It is embedded in the fundamental aspect of this matrix. And every system is controlled by that matrix system. We will never be able to change the economic system. We will never be able to change the education system, the political system, the religious system. We will never be able to change all of those symptoms because the core root is the control that they have around this reality. So why? Why are they controlling this matrix? Why are they enslaving these children? What is the point? What is the reason behind all of it? So the first thing, and this is the biggest one, by choosing psychic bloodlines and enslaving children who are crystalline frequency, they have utter and complete control over the light on this planet. Therefore, they have utter and complete control over the balance between light and dark. This planet has actually, as a matter of fact, always had the 50-50 balance between light and dark. But the darkness, the low vibrations, the beings, the entities on this planet have been targeting the light and actually changing the light into darkness through trauma and torture. That's why they target pure bloodlines, pure crystalline bloodlines, pure Palladian bloodlines, pure cosmic bloodlines. We all know that the elite and the reptilians like to keep the lineage in the bloodline. We all know that. It's very incestuous in that way. But I had no idea up until an hour ago when I channeled this, that they also target the psychic, the cosmic, the crystalline bloodlines. They target us to suppress us and to control the light on this planet, to control the balance between light and dark. These children are not just children. They are our cosmic brothers and sisters. As a matter of fact, these children, not just at this time on this planet, in these underground bunkers, but in every single generation since the dawning of humanity. They are our saviors. They are the ones that were supposed to change things, and they have been targeted. And that's why I want to say that you are the ones who got away. You're not in that system in this lifetime. But I hope that by you sitting there understanding this information, it helps to clear some of your karmic debt and your energy connected to this, so that you can feel liberated. And we'll talk about that. The reptilians are targeting the light to transmute it into dark. The other reason why they do this is to drink our blood. And I've said this before. I mean, I got this download back in 2011 from the Galactic Federation. They showed me reptilian beings drinking children's blood who have been tortured in blood and sex rituals. They feed off of our bodies. I can't even call them cannibals because they're not human. Now, the really messed up part, and I do want to say that not all reptilians are bad, but the really messed up part is that reptilians do not need the blood of humans or the bodies of humans to survive. The reason why they drink blood and they consume our bodies is through ritual, is to attain our psychic abilities, because they are not psychic and they cannot transmute through different dimensions like we can. And for anti-aging, which I think a lot of you know from adrenochrome. But they don't need it to survive. It is a luxury item, and only the top elite reptilians drink our blood and use us for ritual and sacrifice, and use these children. And also, they do this to traumatize the soul. They don't care about the human. They don't care about the vessel. They actually are targeting our souls, so that in lifetime after lifetime after the trauma, that individual, that soul feels that trauma deep down, and that affects us. I guarantee that all of you who feel this information deeply have all been affected by reptilian blood and sex rituals. You have all been that child before. By traumatizing our soul, they keep us in a perpetual state of fear. They keep us trapped, separated from source. They make us feel shame and guilt for things like sex and orgasm, just like I mentioned in that video. Our greatest gift, our greatest technology as a human, is the ability to orgasm, to connect to pure source, to feel that euphoria. And they make it so that we are so traumatized and so oversexed and so overstimulated that we can't even allow ourselves, because of the fear that we have, to let go. In order to control the masses, they want us to be separated from source. And that's what they've done. And just through traumatizing one generation, they are reborn again on this planet with the trauma that they had in their lifetime before. And they spread that trauma through generation after generation. This trauma we have all been holding in our bodies. All of our ancestors hold this trauma. This goes far beyond just the children who are trapped now. They are only a mere representation of who we are, of our cosmic brothers and sisters, of the ones who volunteered themselves to be here. And they got trapped. We need to realize that this system, this pedophilia, child sex trafficking, torment, traumatizing system that they have in place, this is the biggest control mechanism that we have on the planet. More so than money, more so than education, more so than belief, more so than anything else. Because they are able to control the fundamental basics of this reality. They are in control of our karma. They are keeping us trapped in trauma. They are keeping us in fear from ourselves and from source. So, when I channeled all of this, and I knew a lot, but I did not know to this extent, an hour ago, and I was crying and crying, and I'm so happy I'm not crying as much now, because like I feel it just so deeply, and I know that I was one of those children, and I had to ask the Galactic Federation, and I know that this is on all of your minds. Why? Like, we know why the reptilians are doing what they're doing, but come on, Galactic Federation, like, you have the ability to intervene. You have the ability to stop this. You have the ability to not have allowed this to happen. Why did you allow this to happen, you know? And I think that a lot of people, like, even Christians, even religious people, you know, that's a question that we have a lot, which is, if God really exists, why would he allow the suffering to happen on the planet? And of course, spiritually, we can say everything happens for a reason, but I wanted to hear it from the GFL. I wanted to hear it from the Palladians. I wanted to know what they had to say about why they allowed this to happen. And this is what they said. This is what I wrote down. Okay. They have been doing this to many other planets and civilizations for millions of years. The intense connection that you feel for these children is the reflection of trauma that you have from many other lifetimes, even off of this planet. This scenario needed to be replayed so that you were able to heal it. Not just for you, but for all of us. And that makes sense, you know, I resonate with that. And when they said that this has been going on, like, we need to realize that maybe it hasn't been through blood and sex rituals, but the reptilians have been attempting to control the matrix system of many other planets, many other civilizations, through many other mechanisms. And I want to tell you that when I was channeling this, I got this, and this is really beautiful actually, I got this visual of a reptilian underground base, and it's really just, it's like a cave, and it's dark, and there's just a ton of reptilians there. And I forgot that a long time ago, I made friends with one of these reptilian beings when I went to go confront them back in 2016, and this reptilian friend of mine was like a kind of like a mole on the inside of the reptilian bases, and it was a female, and she would tell me where all of the reptilian bases were all over the world, and then I would go with my team, and we would take down the bases with light. Anyway, so when I was channeling this and crying and releasing and just talking to the GFL, she came up. I forget what her name was. But she came up and she said, "Elizabeth, we're ready." And I said, "Ready for what?" And she said, "There are many, like thousands of reptilians," even more than that, she's saying, "underground at this time, who do not agree with the elites, the reptilian elites." And she went on to explain that they themselves, these reptilian beings underground, have been suppressed, have been traumatized, have been tortured, and they no longer want that anymore. Not for us, not for them, not for this planet. And they are all secretly waiting. Yeah, and it gave me so much hope that there are tens of thousands of reptilian beings that have been suppressed underground that are all ready to take over, kind of like a mutiny, the main elite reptilian beings. It's like, the people taking over the crown, right? It's very similar to that. So I did not expect her to come through. I did not expect that information to come through, but I was so relieved when I heard that. Because human beings can only do so much. And I'm going to tell you all what you can do about this. Because I'm sure all of you are sitting there thinking, how can I help? Especially if you feel it. There's just so much pain. So in the present moment, if you have been affected by reptilian blood and sex rituals in past lifetimes, this is what you're going to be experiencing right now. Blocks in your psychic gifts. The reason why you're going to have blocks in your psychic gifts and abilities, and the reason why I can almost guarantee this video is going to help you unlock them, we're not talking about psychic abilities at all. But your soul does not feel safe being a psychic. Because psychics have been targeted and taken down and molested and tormented and enslaved. So deep down, you feel like your soul knows that if the reptilians are still here on this planet, you're not safe to be psychic. And I don't blame you. And I don't even feel safe coming out with this video because of the same reason. Because that's what they do. They target and they take down the biggest players of vibrational shift on this planet. The second thing that you're going to experience if you've had past lifetimes and sexual trauma and been a part of this system is blocks in financial abundance. And the reason why is because all of these shapeshifters, all of these elites, all of these reptilians, they are all wealthy. They are all powerful. They have all of the material stuff that you could ever imagine. So deep down, your soul is like, I will take suffering. I will take lack of abundance any day over being a part of that system, over being a part of the corruption on the planet. So you are sabotaging yourself, not allowing yourself to be fully psychic, not allowing yourself to be fully financially free. And this is what I'm talking about. They have taken over the karmic system so that karmically you don't feel safe to be yourself and to be liberated, so that you are keeping yourself separated from source, separated from your potential, so that you are keeping yourself dull. And that's what they want. They want you to not feel safe. And then, of course, the last major block that you're going to feel if you've been affected by this, which I'm sure that you have, because through all of the generations and all of the souls on the entire planet, they have done this and they have wanted to reach and touch every single soul on this planet, to traumatize them. The last block that you're going to experience is the block of sexual satisfaction. I could almost guarantee that every single one of you holds some sort of resistance sexually, because deep down, it's a feeling of lack of safety. Maybe you watch porn and maybe you feel guilty for doing that. Maybe you can't orgasm because you never feel safe with your partner even though you've been married to your husband for 25 years. Blocking us sexually from the number one thing that allows us to feel free and liberated and connected to source is just horrendous. And they are indoctrinating and traumatizing a whole new generation of light workers right now as we speak, so that in their future lifetimes, they also feel limited. They also feel blocked and they don't know why. And essentially, because of those blocks, they feel disempowered and trapped. So in the present moment, and then we're going to go into the now what and what you can do moving forward. In the present moment, there are children enslaved all over the world. Currently, there are. And unfortunately, the best ones, is how it was referred to, are funneled into the system, the top tier elite, like Jeffrey Epstein and his pedophilia circle. These children are funneled into the Vatican. They're funneled into Buckingham Palace. They're funneled into some of the most powerful hands on the planet. But I want to tell you all that behind the scenes, there is a war that is going on. A war that has been waging for a long time. And we're now finally starting to get a grip on it. We're now finally starting to win and push back. I want to tell you all that there is no use naming names. I'm not going to talk about QAnon or Trump or Wayfair. I'm not going to talk about the players involved and the celebrities who are definitely reptilians. I'm not. Because that's not solving anything. That is allowing you to get wrapped up in belief. And that is only ever going to limit us from bringing peace to this planet. So please don't get wrapped up in the conspiracy theories. Don't get wrapped up in the who and the what. Understand that it is happening. And once again, it is the number one biggest control mechanism on this planet. And I'm comparing that to finances and money and religion and mass media. And no one's talking about it. I also want to tell you that there are people who are light workers, who are Galactic Federation ambassadors, who have been implanted into every single facet of this entire world structure. Some people call them the white hats. And just like all of those reptilians who are ready to break free and override the corruption even within their own species, these white hats are ready to change the system. And they're just waiting for the time to do so. The ones that are really changing things, you will never know their name because they are here for one mission and one mission only, which is to take back the control over this matrix and put it back in the hands of every single human being who deserves to be here and deserves to be sovereign. We are taking down the 1%, and it's happening right now as we speak. Things are changing, things are shifting. And just remember that back in January, 200 of the top CEOs of the biggest fucking companies in the entire world stepped down. And you want to know why? It's because they were warned. They were told by the Galactic Federation that if they continue, they will be exposed. And I remember years ago when I went down to those reptilian bases and I confronted them. And I said, you can no longer keep doing what you're doing. We are coming for you. And you cannot stop us. And now it's here. It's time. It's happening. There is no going back after this. Do you realize that? We are about to go through the biggest liberation this society, this reality, this matrix, this earth has ever seen. This universe has ever seen. And I regret to inform you that there are still reptilian agendas at play here. There are still those, the darkest, the most low vibrational of them are still fighting. They don't care. Their mission is the exact opposite. It's to take us down no matter what. And I'm talking about those families of the world. And I won't name names, but you probably know what families I'm talking about. And they're still trying to control. And they're still trying to push their agenda. But they're not getting away with it. Their resources are dwindling, and their own beings are turning on them. The darkness is getting consumed by the darkness. And the second that we free the children, we liberate ourselves. And the second that we liberate ourselves, we override all of the trauma that our souls have ever endured from the reptilians, from these blood and sex rituals, in every single lifetime, both on and off this planet. This is huge. Now, of course, we all know about this woman, I think Jeffrey Epstein's ex-girlfriend. She has a list of people and warehouses of evidence against very powerful individuals on this planet. And there are a lot of people, a lot of shapeshifters right now who are sweating because they know that it's the end of a long era. A long era. But I also do want to say as well that this woman, I don't know how to say this, but I got a visual. It's going to sound weird, but I got a vision when I was channeling this, that this woman, I don't know how to say this. She has the ability to commit suicide very easily. And what I saw, take it or leave it, guys, was that one of her teeth, I think this is a very old school, like World War tactic, that one of her teeth is false, and that it includes a pill that she can take to commit suicide. And all of those beings, all of those elites want her to do just that, so that their secrets are kept hidden. And as much as this is a scary thought, that she's the one that could take down everything, and she has that ability to exit very easily, I also know that this woman has a soul. She probably is a reptilian. She probably is a shapeshifter. But it doesn't mean that she doesn't have a soul. Even reptilians, even the lowest vibrational beings in the universe, have a soul. And I hope, and I'm going to put it out there because I want to create this, and I hope all of you help me create this collectively. I hope that deep down, she knows that she needs to tell the truth. And that she tells the truth to the ones that matter, and that this information gets exposed. That's what I want to manifest and create. So now what? It's a lot of information. And I want to let you all know once again, if you felt nauseous during this, welcome to the club. You've been affected by this before. And I also want to say too that this video is not just information. This is not just a passive video. This is hitting your soul in a way that maybe it's never been hit before. So please take it easy on yourself in the next couple of weeks, couple of days. Allow yourself to integrate this vibration, this information. I didn't expect to say everything that came out today. So be aware of that. So now what? What can you do? What can we all do? The number one thing is to heal yourself. You cannot expect to free the children. You cannot expect to heal the karmic trap on the planet unless you yourself are healed first and foremost. Step number one is just heal the trauma. Forgive the people in your life who have taken advantage of you. If you can't forgive and let go of this lifetime, how can you go deeper into more and more layers? It just won't happen. Heal yourself in this lifetime first. Heal the self-sabotage mechanisms and not feeling safe and feeling fearful. The second thing is share this video. I know that it's very difficult for a lot of you to say the truth of what's really happening to your friends, your family members, your own network. But it's a lot easier saying, hey, this weird girl is talking about this crazy information. Maybe you should check it out. Right? If you don't feel like you can say it, then I will. And I'll help you with the words. And all you have to do is share this. Because people need to know. People need to know the truth. And I know there's a lot of talk about reptilians, but fuck, that's the truth. And we can't hide that anymore. And I can't feel fearful of saying this stuff because it needs to get out there. The last thing that you can do, and honestly the most impactful thing that you can do, and before I get there, I just want to say that the Galactic Federation told me a week ago that Black Lives Matter protest was Plan B, and man, God, did that resonate with me. And I hate to say it, right? But Plan A was supposed to be protesting for children. Was supposed to be understanding that Pizzagate and child pedophilia is 100% a thing. And that is the truth. And I know that eventually one day, hopefully one day soon, we can all protest for something that reaches all of us, that affects all of us deep down beyond just this one lifetime. No matter what age, race, sexuality, gender, language, culture, belief system you fucking have, we can all get behind children and children's lives. And that transcends any belief or attachment or identity that you may have. So I hope that one day we do protest for children's lives. I hope that we protest Plan A 100%. But before that happens, because they have already put a stop to it once, that is a linear method. That is a third dimension method of changing the system. We need to move beyond 3D. We need to wake up and understand that we can change the future of humanity and the future of these children's lives by projecting an intention into reality that creates and co-creates a beautiful and safe future for everyone. You need to realize that your thoughts create your reality, But your thoughts also create the collective reality of the future. So do me a favor, do all of us a favor. Every single time you go to meditate moving forward, you meditate on freeing the children. You meditate on healing the ancestral lines that have been tortured and tormented and manipulated and confused and suppressed and controlled. Meditate on collective liberation with the ability of finding our own sovereignty. Because we all deserve that. And before I just finish this very powerful and shifting and transmuting video, I just want to say thank you for being here and holding space. By freeing yourself of ignorance, you're already changing the system. And I realize that this topic, this conversation is not easy to have. Trust me, I know. So just understand that when the children are free, we heal the traumas of the past. When the children are free, we liberate humanity. When the children are free, we finally begin to live in a sovereign world where all of us can be free. Thank you all so much for being here. Please subscribe to the channel, hit the share button, please share this video. It's so important. Like I said, this is by far the most important video I have ever put out there. Yeah, it really is. So once again, thank you for being here. The time is now.